All right, so we're back. This isn't going to be building under the ideal circumstances because it is Easter weekend. I was trying to arrange mocks beforehand to see like how it was gonna work. I got like one person to say they would, but I myself have been very busy this week and into the weekend, so no guarantees that I'll get a mock. So this may literally just straight up be build and then play. That's not the ideal process. That's not going to be what you want to do on a weekly basis. So to the extent that I'm trying to give you an example to follow. This particular week might be rushed, but sometimes you're in that situation and you got to do the best with what you have. So this week we're playing SinOfWrath. This was a matchup I was worried about mainly because, as we've discussed before, my team is particularly vulnerable to the premier like offensive grounds, and I think Landorus T is actually like the worst one, honestly, of the ones that we're talking about, mainly because it has U-turn. So like it hits pretty much everything very well with its ground stab, but anytime that I want to try and prevent that, he's gonna have an easy out. And honestly, even something like Earthworm has a coverage move for. I'm pretty sure that it retains fighting coverage. Hammer Arm, Focus Blast, no superpower. So Hammer Arm's not a great move, and I don't know if it'll be special. It doesn't have superpower, so maybe Earthworm is in play here. Yeah, I don't have to initially like do all the same stuff every time, like reading through the matchup and everything. We're just gonna get right into it. The main thing you're gonna notice is the Zeke Keldeo has been very good this season. I think it's the kill leader in the league. It's like 15-1. I do have a very obvious, like a marquee Keldeo answer in Primarina in terms of its conventional stabs, but the Terra Keldeo, the Terra type is almost certainly going to be something that's going to break through with the Prim. So like it's probably going to be something to hit super effectively. If not, it'll be something to resist one of the moves. So like there's a world, I guess. I was gonna say there's a world, I guess, where it's like steel, but no, actually, there is not a world. I think water is always on the menu, but I also don't think it's gonna be that. I think we're looking at poison realistically. I actually think grass, like Terra Grass, isn't that bad here. And then like electric is technically possible for the reason I gave, but I don't think it's gonna be electric. Like I'm pretty sure it's not. So I'm thinking poison is probably the most likely one. He's already ran that before. For similar reasons in past matchups, and then if not poison, I think grass is good here. Hydrapple, I mean, this thing is pretty much in all cases is like a defensive Terra that runs AV, so that's kind of just something we're gonna have to deal with as it happens. I would want to think that he would not like. I think Terra Fairy is always possible into me, especially like as a defensive AV. It does hit the Darkrai, Iron Hands, Crocodile, and I guess the Nun's Terra Drago, but not as good. Not as good in terms of resists. I think the main thing he's gonna want to make sure he resists is like he's gonna want to maintain his resist on Ogerpon probably. That's probably the main thing. He's either gonna be Fairy or he might stay Dragon, or he might be Terra Grass as well. Because grass would also retain the ground immune or the ground resist, which is nice. But yeah, I do expect the Keldeo to be the Terra, because like Hydrapple staying the type it is like is still pretty solid in this matchup if you just wanted to be like an AV pivot. I don't remember if Darkrai gets Ice Beam. Does it? I feel like it does. Yeah, it does. So there's Darkrai to consider. Iron Hands, Ice Punch, Ice Beam, Prim, and that's it for everybody else. So that's something a regular Hydrapple is gonna have to consider, but I think it's gonna be well worth it for him if he does that. Cinderace is kind of a similar situation as Primarina. It does have Liberal Gunk Shot, so it's not like he doesn't have a move to hit Prim at all. But that is like, this isn't a matchup where you spam banned Pyro Ball, I don't think. It's actually decently likely that I build a team. Just looking at the matchup, the team I end up putting together might actually be vulnerable to ban Pyro Ball, but I don't think I don't think that's what he's, from his point of view, that's what he's gonna immediately see with the resist that I have. The first thing that caught my eye, this isn't necessarily like, oh, this is the most amazing set ever, but I just immediately got curious about the potential for a policy Darkrai. How well will it take a Moonblast from Clef? The potential for Unaware is always there, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Oh, that's better than I thought. Let's do Max with F for sake of argument. But what I was thinking is like Moonblast is 90. I was thinking policy, like Calm Mind Taunt 2 attacks. So I would Calm Mind on switch, and then taunt, so like he doesn't T-Wave me. He'll Moonblast and then get me here, and then Sludge Bomb will pretty much kill, for being real. And then from there, we're faster than everybody else. So, other than Scarfers, of course, Sableye can't Prankster anything. So I feel like this set could have a lot of potential. I'm gonna craft the set right now, and then you know, we'll see if it stays. Sludge Bomb, Taunt, and Weakness Policy. Fastest Pokemon on the team for him is Cinderace. Cinderace will most likely creep the Ogre Pawn. Cinderace. You can also creep this. Okay, these are the same things. So Ogre Pawn's 350, so Cinderace is going to be at least this. But on one hand, it's like, do I want to just cover it? Let's see. It really depends. Go to 353. So we have to be timid. We have to be timid no matter what, which is kind of annoying. 353. Honestly, I think I just want to cover the whole thing. 371. Yeah, that's fine. Cause like I would be inclined to do like this, maybe 359. Like I could do this. But 359 compared to 371 was at 12, 48 EVs. I don't know. Well, that's probably not going to be a big deal, for being honest. It's probably not going to be one. This is an 87.5% chance to KO at +3. We're going to lower the special attack until the percent chance goes down. So this will be 236, and we can put the rest in bulk. I believe the lefties number here will be 296. If I'm correct, I'm gonna whip out the calculator on my phone. 296 divided by 8, 37, one less because we're leftovers, so this is right. And then we'll put the rest in. There's really no priority to speak of, so we'll put the rest in special defense because that's at least like a hit that we're gonna take. So this is the Darkrai that I was thinking. We'll see if it ends up being good. But yeah, I would probably bring it in on, you know. It's a little complicated because like I imagine Slowking will be Colbur, so there is that. Like I could taunt first, and then I guess I'll just scout the set. But like if he's Colbur, I could taunt first. He could attack me. It won't 2 a KO, I don't think. And if it's Sludge Bomb in particular, it needs to not 2 a KO after Poison. This is 56 and 8. Okay. Let's see, this is close. This is getting close. It is a guarantee to a KO after Poison. How annoying. So if he just Sludge Bombs right away, I would need him to not do that. That's something to consider because like I do think the Slowking will almost certainly be Colbur. I think. I guess it could be Shuka. But in any case, like you have to at least account for the idea that it might be Colbur. So we'll leave Darkrai as is right now. Let me think. What do we want to do next? Do we want to make a Primarina that can come in on Keldeo and then beat Poison? I think that would be good. I think. We'd probably just do like AV, because you would want it to you know, be able to do something like Slowking G as well. Like really learning the Keldeo is like the most important thing at the end of the day. Like if I have to flip turn on Slowking the subsequent turn, then like I guess that's just how it is. But like if I go this on Keldeo on you know, water move, and then he clicks the coverage move, and I would be Psy Shock or Psychic for Poison, and like Ice Beam for Grass, and then that would do it. I guess it matters if that kills, but I would want to be AV. I'm pretty sure I'd want to be AV in any case, just to make sure I live those hits. And then it'd be flip turn, and then the last move would be like, is Moonblast even useful? Probably not. Yeah, so I'd be like last move, Surf, something like that. Or Liquid, yeah. Or is Liquid Voice better by any chance? For subs, for potential subs. The thing is, like, the main sub that I'd be worried about is Keldeo, so probably not. But I don't know if Torrent is that useful either. Well, I won't worry about it right now. So from here we want it to go to Keldeo. Let's first calc specs. That'd be like the worst case scenario, basically. Poison, Ice Beam, or Psychic stronger? I think that'd be the same. I don't want to do Psychic noise. Psychic 90, and I believe Ice Beam is also 90. Yeah, so these are the same. Okay, that does pretty good damage. The Keldeo will be made to outspeed the Crocodile, probably, especially if it's poison. So that'll take it to like 312, I think. Okay, I believe max speed Croc hits 311. So that's a fair amount of bulk. 508 minus 252 minus 128 is just leaves 128. And that is an odd number, so we'll just calculate like this. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't kill, that's for sure. But let's see. Poison, and you get Terra Blast. This is a lot. 71 to 84. I mean, Jesus. Let me think. Alright, let's think of it this way. The minimum special attack we need we need to take it out after leftovers. So we don't need like an ungodly amount of special attack for this set to work as intended. Looks like it says 108 for now. So that'll work, I guess. What is cool about I'm re-interested again in the Psychic Noise that I saw, because if it comes in, if Slowking G with Slack Off or Clef come in, then that's also kind of cool. 52. I could really get. Let's see. That might be worth it. If I did Psychic Noise for a 2-hit KO, if I did something like this, that's pretty enticing. What are the other speeds? There's Clef. Yeah, I'm gonna slap 32 in here, and then the HP will be something like this. Oops, there we go. And all right, let's see what this looks like with AV. 232, 108. Okay, so Terra Blast doesn't 2-hit KO this. Oh, this is a lefties. Fuck. Okay. Specs. Well, here's the thing. He has to get the prediction right if he's non-specs. So there is that. There's that to consider. So if he's non-specs, then he's never 2-hit KOing. Terra Blast. So that should be the best we can do. Yeah. It's probably just the best we can do on that. Yeah, that'll be Psychic Noise, so then when the Clef or the Slowking come in, they're not going to heal. I don't remember if Psychic Noise works on regen. I feel like it doesn't, but I mean, who knows. The next thing on the menu, in my mind right now, I'm kind of thinking like, how can I do my best to not bring Earthworm? And so what I'm thinking is like, anything that landers can come in on, we're going to need a way to beat it, basically. So if we're gonna have an Iron Hands, then it should be Shuka. So he goes Landorus, and then I don't worry about the earthquake because I'm staying in. And then I'm just gonna ice punch. So I'm gonna do -1. So even -1 almost kills max HP, which is nice. Wait, this is booster. Yeah, this is booster. But it still does quite a lot. So if I just take 1 earthquake, Jolly, we'll call this defensive Lando for now. I don't know how confident he'll be like being like max attack, knowing that knowing very easily that I could be, you know, the earthworm. That at least kind of takes like band off the table. Okay, so after Shuka, like earthquake doesn't do shit, so that's interesting. And if he's offensive, it'll do more, but your ice punch does more. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm gonna put Iron Hands, and I am gonna think of like being Shuka at least for starters. This is a 50 speed. I think I want to be as fast as Prim here. Is that right? Fable. I want to outspeed up to Clefable with 24 Clefable. 163. Okay. But the way I had it is like 32 is if you're trying to creep Prim, so I might as well hit the same as Prim at that point. All right, 112. That's pretty fast. 6. Start with Ice Punch because we know we're gonna need it. Earthquake, and if we want to actually Clef, we might as well have Heavy Slam. So Ice Punch, Earthquake, nothing. Earthquake if it's poison, Ice Punch if it's grass, Heavy Slam. To be determined. So I think what we want to do is have Drain Punch. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what we want. Ice Punch, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Drain Punch. So Earthquake, Ice Punch, Drain, Ice Punch or Earthquake, and I guess Drain. If neither, Heavy Slam. We have a move for everything. It just depends what type this is. Sableye, we don't have much, and then Drain Punch for Registeel. But the thing is, like, this doesn't get a move for Sableye, so and we wouldn't stay in anyway because the potential for a burn. It actually does get play rough, but we would have to like do that aggressively because again it'll burn us. All right, so let's start calcing. It'd be nice to KO the Clef with Heavy Slam, so that if we like get prediction like an aggressive prediction right, then we're in business for the kill. This is a lot. Shit, that is a lot. Okay. Matching our lefties is technically possible, so we will want to account for that. We'll want at least 40 attack. Now we're gonna go to Slowking G. This literally could be max Fizdef because of the potential for Ogerpon. So we might end up needing like Adamant for this. Okay, we literally might need to do 152 plus. So we'll put 40 attack aside just so we don't like forget it, and then we'll put that much. Keldeo, I'm like almost certain gets to a KO'd by all the relevant things here. Yeah, Earthquake already does. Okay, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna do. This leaves us with 188 defense after that. Like I said, the main thing we gotta worry about is we're trying to take the Earthquake from Lando as well as possible. This thing also takes hits from Cinderace. I mean, who knows what we're gonna end up wanting it to do when it's all said and done. But okay, Cinderace, or no, Landorus. Okay, so we're gonna calc no attack, max attack, and then Jolly 252. Those are like the things we're gonna consider. First, we'll start with this. 56, 188. That's like this is like the high end, theoretical high end. So we can get this under third, and that's the most that's gonna make a difference. 43 KO without hazards, of course. 252 Jolly will be something like this. Let's go back and see what 188 is. We can keep that under 37.5. Did 140. that is like the same damage as like 3 layers of spikes, which in this case translate to like what are that, 6 switch-ins on rocks. This would be Ada. I don't think we can get that low on adamant. No, we cannot. And then I'm not gonna bother counting choice band. So the most that makes a difference is the 140. So that's what we'll do. 56, 140, rest and special defense. This is our hands. So Darkrai, Primarina, and then we'll take before you tackle. This is gonna be our spread. So right now, the thing is, I don't know how like immediately good Sableye is, because I was thinking like, oh, we want to have something that we can go into. Sorry, I'm like really tired. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm gonna drink my water real quick. Some good shit. Okay. I kind of forgot what I was saying. Oh, I was saying like Sableye is really annoying, but it's actually not that good here because I have multiple dark types that it can't get any of its prankster moves off on. So like Knock is the worst that could happen with. If it's also like Wisp, like if I went hard Prim, that's like a good turn for me. So I honestly don't think Sableye's gonna come, but I mean I guess it's possible. From here, I think Crocodile is decently likely to come because of Cinderace. It's either Cinderace or Regidrago for the Crocodile or Regidrago for the Cinderace. Another thing I gotta worry about is the Hydrapple. I guess a question that's worth answering for me right now is which Terra I'm gonna bring. Hydrapple does quad resist the Ivy Cudgel, Ogerpon, Teal. Let's just, for sake of argument, let's just start with Banded, just to see if the damage is ever meaningful. Ivy Cudgel, and then we'll do U-turn. I don't really care about anything else. Nothing else matters that much to me. So Ivy Cudgel sends Landorus to hell. Actually, this is no Intimidate, so it doesn't, but it does a lot. Slugking G. Man, if he's not max defense, the Cudgel just like 2-hit KOs. That's crazy. Now, here's the thing. He will be max defense. Like, he just will. Also, a downside of being Banded is that Registeel is a thing. So, like, I would probably want to be able to switch up attacks. Probably. So, let me think. What if I was Expert Bell and then it was like Knock, then low. Does it get low kick? Big Ogerpon. Does it get low kick? Yeah, it does. Okay. So, interesting. This knockoff is a lot. Now, like I said, I think it'll be Colbert, but now, well, it's a little complicated because Ivy Cudgel to knockoff doesn't kill. 2 knockoffs doesn't kill. Yeah, so that's not great. He doesn't have removal, but as far as I'm aware, Cinderace still has Court Change, right? That didn't go anywhere. Yeah, that would be devastating if he Court Changed my spikes. That would be absolutely devastating. So there's that. Ogerpon, I would be relegated to like being a U-turn bot because there's also that Drapple. Yeah, I don't know if Ogerpon's that good. I don't mean not that it would like it wouldn't come at all, but it might not come at all. It really might not. It could have a defensive utility or just being faster, you know. Or what if I was SD? Let's see. Yeah, what if I was SD? Does that help anybody? Tantrum, and then I was SD. You know, it does do a lot. And like I said, if he's not he has to be max defense. That's also another avenue where I could be like, well, what if I was weakness policy? So Let's see. Is there a group of attacks that hit everything? There would be Cudgel, Tantrum, Cudgel or Tantrum, Cudgel, Tantrum. This really depends. I'd probably want to be like play rough, low kick, Cudgel, and like one of those is gonna cover it. Hold up, that's already wrong, isn't it? It would be, this hypothetical set would be Swords Dance, Ivy Cudgel, Tantrum, and low kick. That is everything, right? This could be doable. That was just SD. So how much does I Drapple low kick? Oh wait, I had said play rough. Shit. Well, I guess I could Tantrum my way through a Registeel, I guess. Let's just see. Steel. Tantrum. You know, this is a lot. plus 2 Tantrum. It is way more than I thought it would. That almost kills. So if this basically takes like any damage, it's gonna drop. Okay, SD is kind of possible. And the thing is, like, I technically could be no Terra. I would just be slower than Cinderace. Alright, let's compare this to Drago. Now, one thing I will say, first off, Regidrago might have defensive potential against a Cinderace. In this case, it would be like Helmet. 252. Let's just say like Impish and its Helmet. This thing is like never doing anything to Drago. And when it tries to switch out, do I have a click on the Fairy move? I think I don't. I don't think I do. So that's annoying. I would come in on Cinderace and then kind of get nothing. Yeah, like I'd probably just be like screens. That'd be like the best I could do, right? Which, by the way, like, it's not terrible. But Regidrago would have to be Terra if this is going to be useful. So now we decide that, what Terra would it be? We would want to, at minimum, resist Fairy, preferably hit Fairy super effectively. So if it's super effective, we're talking about Poison or Steel, both weak to Landorus. Both weak to Earthquake Reggie, but Reggie doesn't do any damage, and we get Earthquake back. So we would want to be physical if that were the case. And I think we would want to resist hits from Hydrapple. So I think, and Slowking. So we're talking about Steel Regidrago, and it would be physical. So it would be affected by Landorus, Intimidate, unless we were Clear Amulet, and it would be DD. Let's see, Terra Steel. Be Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Terra Blast, probably Dragon Claw, but I'm gonna make sure. Earthquake, Terra Blast, Earthquake, Dragon Claw. It really just depends. Earthquake, slash Terra Blast depending on the type. Cinderace, it would be, yeah, this all depends. This set does work. If I was Clear Amulet, yeah, this set does work. I could also be Lumberry if I was worried about like T-Wave from Clef. So then the question would be just +1 Terra Steel, Terra Blast, slap through Clef. The 79 and 94, that is still a lot. Clef does have to be worried that I'm sub though, so there is that. I don't know if Clef even wants to stay in, really. I don't know if it does. So yeah, I think I would be inclined to be Clear Amulet. And I guess another question is like, +1 Dragon Energy. So he wouldn't be able to take me down with Intimidate. Dragon Claw. That also is a lot. It also does not kill, but it does a lot. And the Earthquake almost certainly kills back. Let's take this out. Yeah, I mean I could live one. I wouldn't be zero. I wouldn't be zero defense, obviously. This is tough. I'd like to have a war where I could bring them both. That would be nice. Here's the thing, if I bring the Regidrago, then I will have Helmet Crook almost certainly, and then Necrozma's on the bench. But the thing is, like, I also like the idea of Necrozma. That Pokemon also seems good. So it's not a given that I'll have both. A huge thing with Ogerpon is it's not as useful if it's slower than Cinderace. So we would want that to be Terra. Another good question is like, when does Ogerpon SD? When do I actually get that? Also, oh, this has low kick. It's a no play rough. Yeah, it does love the Hydrapple though. That was the thing. This would be like an extra belt. Oh shit, Defiant. Yeah, he can't go Landorus because of Defiant. There's Trailblaze. Low kick. I guess here's another quick. Do I need low kick? Do I have to have that? Or could I just be Tantrum? Like just for the sake of being able to run Ogerpon and Regidrago on the same build. Like, could I be how bad is Registeel? It's like it's the question. Another question is like, does Registeel even come? What? I mean, he doesn't do anything versus me. It wouldn't surprise me if Registeel doesn't come. Ogerpon, Registeel, then Tantrum, Jolly, or would it be Jolly? Yeah, it would be Jolly. In this case, it would be Jolly, which is kind of cringe. Then +2. You know, that's still 2 KOs. And he's like never KOing back. Okay, this might be worth it to run both of them at the same time. Just to give myself like multiple ways to win. I would have Drago, Ogre, and Darkrai all as possible ways to win. The kind of cringe thing is like Crocodile has to put in overtime in that it is the resist to Slowking, also the resist to Cinderace. Landorus is effectively lured by Iron Hands. He switched to Clef. My Mia switched to Clef. There also isn't one. That would have been Necrozma. I wouldn't have an immediate switch to Hydrapple, which is not good. Yeah, I don't think I can fit them both. Very annoying. Okay. Which one's better? Swords Dance, Ivy Cudgel, Stomping, Low Kick. Regidrago. Well, let's see. In this hypothetical where my Clear Amulet works, like I come in, I DD as he goes Landorus. The Clear Amulet pops, so it's like, oh my god, my attack isn't lower. I Dragon Claw, which takes Landorus very low, but doesn't kill it. It Earthquakes me back to be very low, but doesn't kill me. But then, all he needs is Registeel to knock out O-Code, Hydrapple to knock out O-Code, Prankster Cinderace, Prankster Keld. So there are ways that Yeah, there are a lot of ways Regidrago can go wrong. So I think I'm gonna go with the Overpawn. And now the question is Crook or Regidrago in terms of the checks that I need. I need a resist to Cinder, and I need a resist to Clef and Drapple. Necrozma automatically makes the team. Oops. Yeah, I wish. Necrozma makes the team, and then it's Crocodile or Regidrago in the last slot. Obviously, Crook is easier to switch into among this group, like by a lot, but its resists are a lot better as well. The other thing that's like kind of annoying is if I went hard Slowking, if I went hard Slowking, get Chili's, then he goes Drapple or Keldeo. Like both of those switches kind of suck for me. That's not necessarily any different with Regidrago though. Perk of Regidrago is that it's harder to go into Landorus, but it's also much easier to go into Clef. So I would just be, like, if I did a defensive Regidrago, it would be like Rocky Helmet. Either Crook or Regidrago, either of them could be Helmet, and I would be like fucking Reflect, Light Screen. Those are like my best clicks on Switch. And then like I don't know, Draco or Earthquake, something like that. So I would just be willingly walled by Clef, giving Clef a free turn basically in exchange for a screen. And it would be difficult to ever attack even in situations where it benefit me, because if I don't get the screen, then I get absolutely nothing for the turn. So like, I think Regidrago has huge upside as a Terra Pokemon, but without Terra, I'm not so sure. It also, one thing is like I would be bluffing Terra, so he would at least be hesitant to go Clef until I Terra the Ogerpon. He might be hesitant to go Clef because I'll be Steel. So there is that. Because like this affects whether Necrozma is Stealth Rocks or not as well. Here's what we can say: we will be like Moonlight. That's one of the moves we will be. I like the idea of being like Photon Knock. Photon probably, and then I would want a move to hit Slowking. And Photon probably hits Clef decently well. A ground move would hit Registeel and Slowking in one. A ground move would hit Hydrapple if it is Steel. It would hit, well, Keldeo gets hit either way. Yeah, I'd either get a Knock or a ground move. In general, Knock is of course better. But I don't know. Knock would get some items off of key Pokemon for Darkrai though, which is valuable. Shit. Okay. I could also be. No, I couldn't. I could be Scarf Crook, but I really can't. I can entertain like Scale Shot, just because, but probably not. Crocodile has a lot of bad switches on it. The free Hydrapple is not good. It's really not good. Does Drapple get a setup move? Does it get like Plot? Oh shit, that's not good. That is not good. Crocodile. So what would a Necrozma do in this situation? Yeah, that dude, Plot Hydrapple. What a demon. Okay. Hydrapple. Honestly, this makes you want to have well, no, actually, because Plot Grass move would break through Earthworm. I was gonna say, like, this makes you want to have Earthworm, but like that doesn't even necessarily help. is tough. Is there like a move where like we just take something down with us? Like, yeah, this is a huge problem. Huge problem. So the conclusion would be, okay, Hydrapple can't, get a free turn ever. Like, that's what it seems like. So is that less a reason to run Crocodile? Probably, because at least if Regidrago is the Cinderace pivot, like, sure, maybe he goes Clef unpunished and that's annoying, but most importantly, he doesn't go Hydrapple. That's really what matters. Crook. So I would also have to commit to going to Necrozma on Slowking as well, and I go to Necrozma on Clef, but I guess it's okay. I guess that's not so bad. Oh, I can be adamant. On this. Yeah, I think, like, in general, Crook feels better in the matchup, in that it, puts Intimidate on Cinderace, resist Slowking, but the fact that it gives Hydrapple a free turn is so bad that it outweighs like anything else. Because like Regidrago realistically is going to be like good enough with a screen, like I might even not run Reflect. I'm not even going to run Reflect. I'm just going to be light screen. Rocky Helmet. But like, yeah, it's not an amazing return on the Clef turn, but Hydrapple coming in on Crocodile or Landers coming in Crocodile like isn't so bad, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Okay, I want to make sure I have that calc right. 544 divided by 8. Okay, so this is gonna be an 8 HP. For speed, we would want to. This can just be a 32. Okay. We'll probably run Draco Meteor. We want to be a ground move for the Drapple, just generally, and it also is going to hit the Slowking better. Outrage is stronger than Explosion, so there is that. Light Screen. Yeah, I might literally be like, am I right? This is stronger than Explosion. I'm like pretty sure I'm right about that, but that could just be me being stupid. Regidrago, Explosion, Outrage. Yeah, Outrage is stronger than Explosion on Drago. There is Scale Shot, but like this set's not breaking through anything. Let's see. Dragon Breath is nice, but again, if he's gonna go Clef, like in theory, I could spread some pairs on that and that'd be cool. But if he's gonna go Clef, then it's totally worthless. So yeah, I think when Regidrago comes in, most of the time, like, Cinderace is gonna be U-turning and I'm gonna get nothing. But if I'm gonna get a free turn, first I'm gonna bluff Terra Steel. Maybe that can deter Clef. But I'm gonna Light Screen and just get out. And that's probably worse on most turns than if I went Crocodile. Because like it resists Slowking, puts Intimidate on Cinderace, gets Rocks up, blah blah blah. But letting the Hydrapple in is devastating. Particularly because if not so much that I can't switch into an attack, but I give up a nasty plot. And like giving up a nasty plot is like unworkable. It's totally unworkable. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Picking an EV spread for this is gonna be a little tricky. Necrozma, I think I just want to be Boots again. I think this will be like kind of Spadef probably. just match this. I'll match Drago. So if I want to outspeed Landorus, because like there is Scarf Keldeo that I might want to. No, he's not. He's not gonna be Scarf Keldeo. That's like there's a 0% chance of that. I'm trolling. He's not gonna be Scarf Keldeo. That's a terrible bring. I do want to outspeed Cinderace. That's not hard to do. I think it's like 371. I think 371. 370. So 371 is out. I'm gonna outspeed it. So I want to be at least 248, which is already past the minimum. Yeah. Okay. So I already naturally, after Terra, I already naturally have to be the fastest Pokemon on the board. So I need to pick, you know, what Scarfs I want to outspeed. This outspeeds the Landorus. Okay, so the answer is Landorus. That's the fastest Scarf I can outspeed. I believe Landorus is 309 Scarf. But the question is like, is that really what it's gonna be? The fastest Pokemon here for me is Darkrai. So Landorus could hit 256. That's something Landorus could be. It would allow it to run Adamant, which I think is a lot more likely for what it's going to do. Yeah, I think that's right. Now, just in case something stupid, like there's some weird funny business, I always like splash a little more EVs, just in case. Also, only timid will like skip EVs here and there. So I'm gonna be like 263, and that's like. That's gonna cover even Scarf Landorus. It's gonna cover even Scarf Landorus is gonna get covered by that. And honestly, if I want to be this low, I'll do a 32 like I do with other EVs. Yeah, the other thing is like I would just be like no bulk and just make sure I outspeed. But like I said, Scarf Keldeo is not happening, and like Landorus is gonna at least be Adamant if it's gonna be Scarf. That's what I think. So we could rationalize it this way, where I could be 282, just to make sure I outspeed, you know, max speed Adamant. Yeah, that's not so bad. That's worth it. Yeah, because I'm confident that he's not going to sacrifice the nature, just for essentially no gain. But so now let's go back to Ogerpon. Teal. 282, Adamant, Expert Belt. This is Ivy Cudgel, Stomping Tantrum, and Low Kick. Alright. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, this is the issue. If he's not Terra, then I'm literally walled. That's why I need Play Rough. So I need to drop Low Kick or Tantrum for Play Rough. Really, it's one of these, and then Tantrum or Low Kick. I have to have Tantrum, otherwise I'm not gonna hit Slowking. Yeah, that's the answer. Okay. I have to be these moves, unfortunately. No Low Kick. Play Rough. Alright. So now... we'll call this... 160 is minimum we have to have if he does not Terra. If he's Fairy, we can make Cudgel. Okay, Cudgel's not going to kill, but it's going to be close. That's literally just worth it probably to make it this close. So, yeah, we're probably not going to end up shaving a lot of attack off of this. Then we can do Fairy. Tantrum. See, this doesn't affect the percent chance to KO. Like you can see the percent changes, but in terms of the literal damage, but the percent chance to KO is still the same, so it doesn't make a difference. So I'm probably gonna say at 240, and then for bulk, this would be if this is the number, then add. I think it'd be this, right? Am I trolling? Yeah. So, and then this Pokemon's more likely to take a special hit, I think. Like, I don't think Landorus is gonna lay a finger. Cinderace will die. Keldeo will die. I mean, they cut it special anyway, so we're really just talking about Cinderace or Landorus. I don't think either Pokemon are gonna do that well. Okay, so this is our Ogerpon. Yeah, the reason my screen did not reflect on the Drago is that he's always. I'm not gonna be like Clay, and he's always gonna go a special Pokemon, particularly Clef, but I guess it could be Registeel, or Terra or Hydrapple. But like, there's never gonna be enough turns where Reflect is even useful. But Light Screen will probably always be useful in that scenario. So, okay, so that's the Ogerpon. We have Hands, Rim, Darkrai. Okay, this is gonna be special, but the offenses matter in terms of like meaningfully being able to beat the Slowking. Crozma, knockoff. I'll put Earthquake here just because, but I don't think I'm even gonna be. Am I gonna be physical? Am I physical Cross? Am I doing that? Because then I don't beat Landorus as well, which kind of matters. Let me see. Yeah, let's just. I didn't envision it in my head this way, so knockoff. I'm gonna start with Calm Nature. Knockoff does 40, and once there's no item, it does 27. And then from there, I would just photon. Okay, I would straight up not be Slowking. I just straight up wouldn't beat it. Not at all. So there's that. What's Clef? Clef is probably a similar situation. It's special. Okay. I don't know if I have to beat any of these Pokemon, I guess. Here's the thing, like if I'm Earthquake, I might though. If I'm Earthquake, I might. I feel like taking items off is so good. Ground move or yeah, I'm gonna be Knock, because like it's likely that any Clef set probably does decently well. So yeah, I'm just gonna be Knockoff, and I might be physical Knockoff. So just so I can beat, actually beat the Slowking. So this would be Careful, Knock, and this is Itemless. We want this to do at least a third, at least, because then that at least always forces the moment he decides not to go for a the moment he decides not to go for Slack Off, he's gonna be in KO range and is forced to switch out. And we of course have healing as well, so that's fine. And then like Landorus, it is what it is with Landorus. Photon. Yeah, I mean it does. Oh, that's interesting. When my attack drops, it'll switch. Okay, this isn't so bad. Yeah, so it's gonna be something like that, and then go So, okay, so attack is going to be the highest thing that gets invested in here. 76. The 224, 240. This would be no careful nature. So now let's see how much some of these attacks do. Hydropple is going to be the most relevant one. Sludge Bomb doesn't do that much. What if I was poisoned? How much can I drop? Why is this guaranteed 3K? Oh, jeez, it's already a 3KO. Really? This already 3KOs? Guess I'm trolling. So I guess we can calc modest just to see if it matters. It does seem to matter a fair bit. 236. All right. Hydrapple. Lot. Pickle beam. Oh, this isn't doing. Why is this thing so weak? This thing is weaker than I realized. Now, of course, what's not great about this is free plots, but he might not know that he has a free plot. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be spread like this. Slow King doesn't do that much. Clef doesn't do that much. Hydrapple doesn't do that much. Yeah. So it'll be something like this. Orpon, Iron Hands, Pram, Drago. All right, I just have to EV this now. I think I am gonna be my special attack, even though I have Draco, just because, even for my special attack, I'm pretty sure Draco just blasts all the things that physical moves are not preferable targets on. Like Cinderace, I think just still dies. Is it not? Am I trolling? Let's do Impish. Okay, Draco Meteor 66. How much does Dragon Claw do? Oh, it doesn't do fuck all. So Draco still does more either way. Now, what you could say is like, oh, well, this is why you should be minus special well, actually, that might be the right answer because it takes off so little. 136. Oh yeah, it barely takes anything off. Yeah, never mind. So I'm just gonna be lax nature Draco. This thing is so bulky too. God damn shit. Let's assume that you're not gonna even attempt to outspeed Ogerpon. Draco does a lot. 508 minus 252 minus 152. Okay, so let's just say an offensive one would be at least this bulky, an offensive Cinderace. The Draco will do 81. This is so much. Alright, I decided this is a bad way to go about this. We're going to cover the defensive responsibilities first because they're more important, and then figure it out from there. So 8, 252. So we have Pyro Ball, does under 25. You could technically do this, 200. U-turn. I don't know if this guy does anything else. 200. What else does this thing get? Acrobatics. gets anything else. Let's see if max HP, like if we went all the way here, if that would do anything. 224. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we're gonna do 8 and 200. That gives us a lot of EVs to play with. So we want the earthquake. Ideally, it'd be nice if the Draco and earthquake killed this. Dragon Claw, outrage. This should be earthquake. All right, so the Draco. Let's just say. How do I want to do this? The Draco. Here's the thing. I want Draco and Earthquake to take out Slowking if it can, but whether I invest more in attack or special attack to do that depends on what calcs I want to get out of Cinderace and Landorus. Obviously, investing more into attack is going to be better for this specific Slowking calc, but if it comes at the expense of other calcs, then that's something to consider. If I want to OHKO with Draco, then I would do 216. That's so much. That's ridiculous. That's just so much. Yeah, that's an unreasonable amount. This is also an unreasonable amount. Maybe killing with Draco is cringe. Maybe it's just cringe. Or we could do a Draco after a helmet. We could do that. 100 minus 16.667. So we want to do over 83 and a third, which would be, that would just be this much. So after a helmet, Draco kills. Could do that. So I guess the real question is, does this actually get us to where we want to be? Draco, let's just say we did this. We did 28, all right, 24, and then 244. Let's say we did that. So then Draco would do, you always want to like prepare for the worst case scenario when you're trying to calc, like assume you get minerals. So if we got mineral earthquake or mineral Draco and a mineral earthquake, then it would live on 8%. For what it's worth, the Sludge Bomb doesn't do that much. for what it's worth. Let's see, what if it was a physically defensive one? The Draco would do 50. And this would do 11. So it's comparable damage either way. So I'm starting to think like, I think I'm just gonna invest in as much in Draco as I want to, and then invest as much in Draco as I want to, and then put the rest in attack, and like that should do it. This one's gonna be 16. Draco. Like if we did Draco after 2 rounds of rocks, this would just straight up kill the Keldeo. So this was like 240 and then 28 attack. That would also do quite a lot to the Cinderace, which will probably have this amount of HP. Yeah, this Draco would just kill. And then this Draco also does a lot. If it's offensive, then it nearly just kills. And then if we go back to the Slowking example, this would be 240 and then 28. I'm gonna get the whole spread right, just because. Okay. This would be the Draco, and then the Earthquake. So this would leave 10, I think. Yeah. So this is still plenty comparable. I think. Yeah, that affects it. So I'll leave that. And then if we did this instead, it would be 100 minus 61 minus 31.5. Yeah, that leaves 7. So yeah, this is the spread that I'm gonna do. It's a very, very meaty Draco, but it's the Draco and Earthquake Calcs are all relatively similar in all situations. So I'm just gonna make sure that Draco kills. Okay, so now the last thing to consider, if you notice, I actually didn't follow the pattern that I usually do. I did not build a lead. So I gotta think what leads best of the sets I have, and like, are there any tweaks that I could make if I wanted to do that? So we don't want to be forced out by Landorus, and we don't want to give free rocks. Probably anything that can flip or like U-turn or whatever, we probably don't want to like not have a click for, and we probably don't want to give up rocks. So really, like, we're looking at, we gotta have a Pokemon that beats everything. That like beats everything, I guess. Or at least like if I led Necrozma, I would at least have you know, a rock turn of my own. So I guess a easier way to narrow it down is, what are we not leading? Ogerpon requires a free SD, so we're not leading that. Regidrago cannot afford to take too much damage turn 1 versus a Cinderace. It's not like, it needs to be healthy for Cinderace, so like if we trade Landorus for Regidrago for like too much health, like that might seem good, but then it opens us up to Cinder. So and there's also the Clef, so Regidrago, Ogerpon, not happening. Darkrai, the issue is I'm not Scarf, and I'm vulnerable to other Scarfs. So particularly Scarf Cinderace can get a free U-turn, Scarf Landorus can get a free U-turn. If it's Slowking versus Darkrai, it could be Colbert and just T-Wave me. I could taunt, then I take a Sludge Bomb for no reason. So that's not favorable for me. Then there's obviously the same for Clef. I like my weakness policy lore for Clef, but it relies on Clef coming in as I CM rather than like, you know, right away. It's possible that he could just rock, but I can't rely on that. If he were to like rock turn 1 as I CM, and then I taunt, then I guess that's cool, but it's not ideal. So not Darkrai, not Ogerpon, not Regidrago. Iron Hands. Iron Hands is good, but it's kind of a similar situation where I don't know if I want to take so much damage right off the bat versus like a lead Clef or a lead Slowking. If I'm not going to immediately for sure beat either of them, I think Heavy Slam does to give Clef, so that is a thing. I think Iron Hands is a possible lead. I don't think it's the best. Prim cannot lead versus Slowking. It cannot lead versus Landorus. Because like I said, like even if he decides to trade for Prim, like let's say he's lead banded Landorus, which I don't think he'll be, but he Earthquakes, I live, I kill him back. That like feels good for me, but it's not. Now I'm opened up to Keldeo, so this is just bad. Hydrapple is also Hydrapple. So I think I'll probably stir on it. I might get a mock, and then I might be able to tell, but the leads are Necrozma or Iron Hands. I'll either mull over on that and decide before the game, or I'll mock and test them both. But in either case, yeah. So I don't have to tweak either of these sets, especially Necrozma, which I can just rock turn 1 on anything I don't straight up kill. Item clear is also very good. Iron Hands, basically, like, it just kind of depends. I lose my Landorus lure if I have to take too large of a hit from Slowking. I guess the most important thing is like, Slowking's most annoying because it can regen. Iron Hands versus Clef is probably like a reasonable trade-off, because like he might rock, but like if I Heavy Slam twice, like I Heavy Slam as he rocks, and he's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. So he switches out, goes Landorus, and then I stay in, I Ice Punch. Like that potential setup could be good. Iron Hands also fares better versus Hydrapple in theory, like off lead, because he doesn't know if I'm like AV, and he might even Earth Power. So, and if he doesn't want a Terra, then like Ice Punch would do a lot. So yeah, it's between those. The other ones definitely cannot lead, but I'm thinking either Necrozma or Iron Hands. Alright, so we were able to fit in a practice game real quick. As I was thinking off screen. Hold up. Hide replay. Plus. Ooh, lagging for some reason. YouTube. Between Necrozma and Hands, I concluded that the better lead was Hands. There are a lot of leads that Necrozma doesn't outright lose to, but it doesn't really doesn't do anything. Like Photon Geyser probably doesn't even 2 KO Lando, it isn't 2 KO Clef. I think getting like knocking on Slowking and Clef is nice, but at least in the case of Clef, it'll get rocks up. The main thing is that I didn't like the matchup between lead Iron Hands and lead Slowking, but honestly, if he's going, to the extent that I lose that lead matchup, it's him clicking Psychic. So versus Slowking, I think I'll go hard Necrozma, and then on anything else, like Hands is just superior. So now just looking at this actual team, it's Terra Electric Keldeo, Terra Steel, Hydrapple. So there is the move to bypass the Prim. What's kind of unfortunate about that is that means that my Psychic Noise and my Ice Beam to cover Poison or Grass is not going to work, but for what it's worth, the Surf, I think I still get 2 KO with Surf anyway, or near one, so it's not too bad. I don't think it's too bad. Also, in both cases, Overpond hits it very hard. So I'm gonna lead Hands, and we're gonna get into it. So lead Lando, this is what the Shook Allure is for. He might just rock right away. He does know that I have Ice Punch, obviously, so he could just be incentivized to attack. But I'm gonna go ahead and Ice Punch. He also could U-turn. That's also defensible. If he does do that, my Heavy Slam would do a chunk to Clef despite it being -1 attack. So he just rocks. Okay, so he's Yachi. So I'm just gonna Ice Punch again at the end of the day. So U-turns. If I Ice Punch into Clef and it does at least 13. Okay, he went hard Keldeo. Okay, this is interesting. So if I go, yeah, I'm gonna go hard Prim. If he aggressively Terra Blast, then it just kind of is what it is, but I don't think he will. Goes for the flip, and they're gonna go into probably Slowking, if I were to guess. I'm going to flip myself in either case. So hard Slowking, so I'm gonna flip into Necrozma, and hopefully you don't Chili Necrozma, and you T-Spike. That's annoying. Cause I have, yeah, this is the only boots guy I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and rock. I want to knock on this thing, so just went for Sludge Bomb. I'm gonna knock. All right, so now it's open season for the Darkrai, kind of. My Photon. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Photon, just to get damage off. That does 28. Goes for Sludge Bomb. Gets the poison. My next knockoff will do. So if that did 38, then this one will do. This should kill. Okay, I'm gonna take the item off of Hydrapple, and the AV is gone, so that's nice. This Necrozma is very, very low. We'll see how much damage this Hydrapple does. The T-Spikes being up actually very annoying. So here's the Fickle Beam. Alright, I'm probably not going to out-heal this. So I'm just going to attack and let myself go down. So now, oh, it Giga Drains. Okay, so he's at 50% now. Oh, I'm in a horrible spot. Absolutely awful spot. Now the thing is, the Hands lure already effectively worked. Hands, so like Hands probably, I can just go Hands kind of like in the same vein that I led with it and just start clicking attacks. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Part of me wants to Ice Punch, but let me think. He's this is tough. He's got to know that I might ice. He's not going to go hard Lando because he knows Ice Punch is a possible click. So I feel like he should want to switch with Drapple, I think, because if I CC, that would just kill. Yeah, he might stay and just attack. I think I'm gonna Heavy Slam and cover Clef. Oh, okay, yeah. So this does. Oh, nice play by me. I'm him. I'm actually so him. And I should outspeed, so I'm gonna Heavy Slam again. If I don't outspeed, then it is what it is. But so hard Keldeo. That was a solid play actually. But at least the Clef is low. That did a lot. I'm gonna go back to Prim because this Iron Hands is kind of cooking a little bit. Kelio's even at half, so like if he keeps getting me lower and lower, then it's not the end of the world. But honestly, just flipping is really kind of cooking me here, and it's tough because like I could be Helmet to cover this, but then if I'm not Helmet, then I'm more vulnerable to Specs. And there is a world where like he's just Spec Surf and just kind of like plows through. But also a world where he's like Calm Mind. One thing is like he is heavily relying on the idea that I'm not that my Iron Hands isn't gonna like just you know attack again and pick something off. But I guess he could go hard Lando because he knows I'm not gonna Ice Punch on the turn that he has a Keldeo out. I'm gonna go hard Drago. We'll see how much this does. Goes for Trailblaze. Alright, that's fine. So now he's Terra Grass. Be kind of annoying here. My annoying thing here is if I hard Earthquake, I will 2-hit KO. No, I won't 2-hit KO the let me think. The Heavy Slam to 64, so he could be max. Actually, he is max defense. So this these two Earthquakes are not going to kill the Clef, so I can either Drake Bolt. Is he going to want to go hard Clef? I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure he will. I mean, he knows he doesn't have a move for this. I could Light Screen. You know what? I am just gonna Draco. He'll go hard Clef. Went hard Landorus. Okay. So that's cool. Landorus is down. He's gonna go Clef now. Yeah, I was thinking of Light Screening, but honestly, like I can probably switch into. Ooh, the Cinderace. That's interesting. Why'd you go Cinderace? Part of me wants to Outrage it and pick another body. Yeah, I'm gonna Outrage. Let's see what he clicks. Hard Clef. Alright. This actually is fine because I'm not locked in now. Now that I Outrage, like I'm not locked in. The thing is, I'm so low that I don't know if I actually check Cinderace anymore, which is not great. But another thing here is like if I get this Darkrai in clean, this is a dilemma. The Clef is so low. The Clef is so low. He's got to know that I'm debating like Terra Stealing here. By the way, I'm not debating that, but he's gonna know that I'm debating that. He's gonna know that I'm considering debating that. The thing is, like, I could Light Screen, and then, like, let's say Light Screen is Moonblast is 42, and then I would be in a really good spot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Light Screen. Yeah, one hard Cinderace. Very curious. Very curious. Probably wants to Outrage again. Went for the Pyro. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go Prim and then Flip. I think. Is that right? Do I go Prim and Flip? I hope he switches. Maybe not. Maybe not actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go Iron Hands actually. That'd be a bad play. I'm here with hands. I can drain on almost anything. I think. I kind of feel inclined to. Actually, I don't have to aggressively Earthquake on anything. I think I'm just gonna Drain Punch. Good. He goes hard Slowking. And I'm just gonna Earthquake. I am faster. He's probably gonna scout for this, but I mean it is the click at the end of the day. The light screen only has 2 turns left, so that's kind of annoying. Okay, I killed the Slowking, I guess, which is cool. So that we're not gonna benefit from the screen in the way that I wanted to, which I guess is fine. Certainly not ideal. He's kind of in a bit of a predicament because none of these Pokemon kill hands. So I think he's gonna bust one of his Terras right now, or he's gonna go hard Clef and then double Keldeo or Cinderace on the faster Heavy Slam, because like he's almost certainly not gonna just sack it. So yeah, I think he goes. Okay, Cinderace is here. The Pyro Ball's not killing, so like I could Drain and get pretty high, or I could Earth Power. Or if he Pyro Balls and I Earthquake, he'll die. If I just Drain Punch, the thing is like I'm faster. I'm faster than everything. Unless it's a Scarf Cinderace, which it could be. Definitely could be. Probably just wants to Earthquake, but I also want to Drain Punch. If I Drain Punch, I probably wouldn't get that much health back. Yeah, I'm gonna Earthquake. He goes for Pyro Ball, and I'm just gonna kill him. Yeah, that was the right play. Okay, so I'm gonna drop. Now the question is... I think I kind of want to go Ogerpon first. If I drop, I'll kill Ogerpon with anything. Versus Ogerpon, Pickle Beam. Yeah, I'm gonna start with Ogerpon. So the Keldeo's here. He might be Scarf, but I mean, it is what it is. Well, I'm faster. So part of me wants to SD. Yeah, here's Hydrapple. Okay. You know what? I should have Play Roughed. That was a throw. I should have Play Roughed, because that would have mid-grounded Keldeo and Hydrapple. Not good, not good. Okay, Fickle Beam's not going to kill me with anything. And this Keldeo, it's pretty low. I'm gonna Stopping Tantrum. Yep, and I got it right. Alright, you're dead. Yeah, I should have just Play Roughed in hindsight. That would have 2-hit KO'd just fine. So I messed that one up. But, we're gonna Ivy Cudgel our way through. That felt pretty stressful. So this is a Scarf Keldeo. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, the thing with that is like Scarf Keldeo should never assume that it outspeeds Ogerpon, so it's kind of like, why run it? The Scarf Keldeo was probably for the Darkrai. That would probably make more sense, I guess. Let me think. Ogerpon. The main thing that was uncomfortable with that was the T-Spike. I'm not sure how much it mattered. Not having a click on the Clef there. Earthquake did so little. Earthquake did so little. Solid Explosion. I know, because like Explosion would have been nice. Would have been pretty nice there. For the Clef. Oh, here's something to consider. Would that have even killed? Let's get Drago and Explosion. Would that have done it? Because Clef was at like 42. Oh, that would have killed if I had. If I had Explosion instead, that would have killed. That's interesting. That might be worth it. Originally, I had Outrage over Explosion because it just does more. But if Fable was low, that literally would have killed. I would have taken it out. But on the flip side, it's kind of preferable to be able to... No, I'm still right about that. I was gonna say it's kind of preferable to be able to like light screen and then get Darkrai and clean. But yeah, I literally can light screen explode, get Clefable down, and then taunt to stop healing or CM or whatever. So yeah, it's actually a better sequence for me to explode, even though it's a little less than outrage. So yeah, I'm gonna make that change. Dude, honestly, that the key spikes were brutal. They were absolutely brutal. So part of me wonders if there is room for me to fit boots on Prim or Keld, but man, that was kind of ugly. I think I just, for what it's worth, I think I did just be a very solid build in terms of like the, I don't want to say worst case scenario, but a worst case scenario that I might play. One thing I did find with Drain Punch is that if I had CC, it would have made a lot of plays easier. And I'm not sure that healing did anything for me. So there's that. Yeah, I think I do want to see. I think I am going to go CC over Drain Punch. I don't think the healing actually has ever helped me. Or I don't think it has ever helped me. Like I played more than one mock, but the only time I'm draining is versus this the Steel Hydrapple. If I Drain Punch the Keldeo, I'm not getting substantial health back, so it's not even that helpful. Close Combat would have been an easier mid ground on a play that I forgot what it was. I think it might have been like low health Clef, and then he pivots Keldeo on Heavy Slam. I could have CC'd first, then Heavy Slammed. I don't have a perfect recollection of the turn already, but I did remember feeling like, oh, if I had CC, this would have been an easier click. It might have been between non-Terran Hydrapple and Keldeo or something like that. But so yeah, I think CC is better. Maybe I'll end up regretting that, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna see if the main thing is I'm gonna see if I can like with a max Spadef Prim or something, afford to go boots on the Keldeo. That's really the main thing. Because I will say, like, flip turn was annoying, but ultimately it effectively made Premier do its job if Keldeo is going to be reduced to a non-Terra flip turn bot all game. So yeah, that's the main thing. I'm gonna see if I can get this done with boots. The original thing I calced against was just like specs. I'm gonna continue to calc against poison. 136. I have Psychic Noise for 136 right now. I don't know if that's that helpful at this point. Oh wait, this is Modest. And Modest 16. Like this. And this covers lefties. That's probably excessive in retrospect. Lefties isn't real. Because if it is real, it's on a CM set, which if it's on a CM set, then the Psychic Noise isn't even gonna do it. So there's that. So 232, 208, 208. I gotta pull up Terra Blast. Okay. So Specs Terra Blast just straight up like is a roll to kill basically. So that's not good. What if I was like Matt and Calm basically? It just does so much, dude. It does so much. So I gotta think. I don't know why I'm bashful. Back to Modest. The situation that Keldeo came in was on like Iron Hands. I didn't actually reveal Shuka, but I pretty reliably bluffed it, so he had reason to think that I would switch out. But he brings Keldeo in on that. He's definitely not going to Terra Blast because he has to kill. Like he has to Specs Pump even. So I gotta think of other scenarios that Keldeo would come in. It's not going to come in Cross. Maybe I don't have to worry about this. Because it's true that like aggressive Specs Terra Blast does just kill, but like I feel like I'm concluding that he's not really in a position where he safely wants to predict that. Now what's still annoying is like this non-specs Terra Blast does so much. Um, wow, that does a lot. So originally, let's see, how much health can I cut on if I'm just psychic? I know that I don't have to be. I can be 0. Now let's say we did want to cover lefties just for sake of argument. There, just a 4. Okay, so we could literally do. I'm gonna write this off on the side. I'm gonna paste that somewhere. Okay, 232, and this will be 4. And calm. So 232, 240. And that would, yeah, it doesn't do that much. Yeah, this might be better. Because then what is that? I can come in on 17, 18. This would be two, I can come in on 2 surfs, modest surfs before Terror Blast even kills. So he'd have to, yeah, that might be better. Yeah, 224, and then this would be heavy duty boots, and this goes back to psychic. Now the annoying thing is that, like what I had referenced in the mock, is that if he's Terra Electric, then none of my prim moves actually to a KO. Especially because I've just gutted so much special attack. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, the T spikes and the rocks, it was, yeah, it just didn't work. It did not work. So we can say like, okay, we can make the Terror Blast buttons kind of hard to click on Switch on Prim. In the event that he ever gets to, he's gonna have to get that play right within the first 3 times for it to be, useful to him. And otherwise, I'm just gonna flip around. And then if he's electric, which is the only set that I don't 2 KO, then Ogrepon, Cudgel, because I'm originally prepping for like poison or grass, Cudgel will just kind of like plow through if he's electric. But yeah, on that previous turn, when I was like, oh, is he gonna go Keldeo or Hydrapple? I should SD. Like on some level, he was definitely switching out. Like he just definitely was. So that's one thing. But if I just play rough, that would be a mid ground that would have worked. So then I wouldn't have had to play the Terra game, which of course I got it right. But yeah, I wouldn't have had to play any games with that. Other thing to consider is like if he's Scarf Keld, am I too slow? Could I potentially cover a Scarf Modest Keldeo? That'd be 315. If I can cover that, then I should. I'll say it that much. If I can cover that, then I should. Oh, I can. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, if I can cover it, I should. So I'll do this, and then what was I invested before? Was it special? Was it special defense? Let me check. Let me check this. It was in Spit F. So yeah. Let me see if he sent me his paste. I don't know if he did. Yeah, for sure. Can you send paste? Just want to confirm, like, if that is Modest Scarf Keldeo, then yeah, I should just cover it. If it ends up being the case that he was not, that he was like Timid Scarf, then that is tough. That's pretty tough. But I don't think he would do that. I imagine he crept Scarf Crook, so he was probably like the spread 240 speed Modest to cover Crocodile. So yeah. I'm just waiting to see. I think with these changes though, like everything looks pretty good. If it ends up being the case that he goes Prim and he specs, actually this actually covers if he's not specs, now that I'm not AV, but he goes Keldeo, he gets Keldeo in clean. The only time he's going to be able to do that is realistically on hands, or I guess if he has Scarf on Darkrai, and then he feels like he can aggressively Terra that turn, which takes Terra off Hydro Apple, and then aggressively predict Primarina correctly. And that's like the only scenario where, you know, things go really wrong. I think I can maneuver around that in the event that does happen. But yeah, if I'm AV and I have to take up like rocks and T-Spike, then then like nothing's gonna work. So yeah, I think Boots. If I end up playing a team where like he's no T-Spike, and then I mean it just is what it is. That's unfortunate. AV technically would have been better, but I mean you just have to make do at that point. But this game felt way more difficult than it had to be because of the hazards on my side. Like for sure, that was the only thing that like felt troubling. And when I look back, like the only Pokemon that health was really racking up against was kind of the Primarina. Like I guess Drago too, but I mean nothing can be done about that. Realistically, these other like offensive pieces, like it doesn't matter nearly as much. So yeah, with that in mind, I was gonna wait for the pace to confirm what the Keldeo speed was, but I've kind of decided it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's timid. I don't think I can afford to get out of Adamant anyway on Ogerpon. So yeah, I'm actually content to say that this is the finished team. Alright, so we're actually about to play the game. I know I said it was like, oh, it's going to be later, but I ended up playing like 10 minutes later. He happened to be online. Okay, so we're going to see. So the same 6 that we just played and most who expected. Terra Poison, Hydrapple, Terra Fighting, Keldeo. Terra Fighting, Keldeo? What does that mean? I'm curious. Aura Sphere. What about Secret Sword? Grim. Maybe that 2. Did that 2 KO? No, it doesn't 2 KO. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna lead hands like before. And this is lead Slowking. We're gonna go to Krozma. He literally might just T-Spike right here. Or he might Psychic. It just depends. Ping the roll on the link. Magic. He's telling me that it at live battles. There we go. It goes for Trick Room. So this will obviously speed up this will speed up my Drapple, but do we care? I'll just Stealth Rock. If he Sludge Waves, that doesn't do anything. A part of me wonders if he's like Policy. Like, so I'm gonna Moonlight. He might attack me again. So he's Trick Room. Yeah, the only way like this goes super sideways is if he's Policy. So I don't want to knock off right away and pop that. Because that'd be a disaster. So I think I'm gonna Photon first. So he crits me. That's annoying. Let's see how much this does. That's 35. That's not bad. So yeah, I'm gonna Moonlight. Yeah, I think I beat this one-on-one. My thinking was like I would switch out on the turn that I'm gonna outspeed when Trick Room runs out. But because my Photon did a lot more than I thought, I don't have to do that. It 3 KOs. So I don't have to like time Trick Room out. But like if I pop Policy as he Trick Rooms, that'd be a nightmare. So I'm gonna Geyser. We'll see what he does here. So he goes for Sludge Wave. Now I kind of want to knock, honestly. I also want to Moonlight. I kind of want to Moonlight. Yeah, I'm Moonlight. I think he's gonna switch out because he knows he dies in the next one, so he's gonna switch out. He's gonna switch out into something that doesn't care about the Photon Geyser. That might be Clef. But yeah, like there's no way he's gonna stay in here. It's not happening. So there's no use in like not healing, I think. He doesn't know I have knockoff. I do believe I have sniffed out a weakness policy. I think that is what happened here. Okay, this is a little weird, a little awkward because I'm physical Krozma. Actually, no. After the attack drop, I start hitting from the special side. I forgot. So this is actually gonna do a chunk. Cause yeah, my Actually, am I right about that? Yeah, I am right about that. Okay, so my special, this is gonna come off my special attack. So there's a chance it's actually 2 KOs. It probably doesn't though. It depends on if he's max HP or not. I do expect him to just rock. He's thinking about it though. I'm in a pretty good spot. This also means that the Slow King is not T-Spike like I had just played. So this match, at least in that respect, will be a lot simpler. So it goes for U-turn. We're gonna see what this translates to. One thing that's cool from here though is that the Slow King is low enough because it'll take, unless it's, maybe it's boots, but if it's boots it'll be at 66. If it's not boots, then it'll be in its policy, like I fear, it'll be at 54. So I believe something like hands or like a lot of faster guys that I have will just take it out. So there is that. Keldeo is fighting. Why is it fighting? Okay, so he goes into Slow King now. Back to Slow King rather. So that does 27. My knockoff will kill. So I'm just gonna kill this. Yeah, I outspeed it. This might just be an opportunity for him to heal back up or get some more healing with regen. The Pointed Stone's dug into, so we are not the what was I saying? Yachi's off now. We're not boots, so that makes me think even more so that we're looking at policy. That did 40. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ride Necrozma all the way down. I think he's gonna goes for Earthquake. Okay, now I gotta think. Now I gotta think, because this next Earthquake will kill. I gotta decide if I care about that. Because like if I go hard Ogerpon, if I go, here's something. I think like look, if I go hard Ogerpon, then like U-turn will do a lot. It'll do half. If I go hard Darkrai, Earthquake will do 58. U-turn will do similar, but I'll have my policy popped, and that'll be interesting. Now the annoying thing about that is like he's AV Drapple, so well I don't know that he's AV Drapple, but if he's not, Dark Pulse is a lot. Do I want to just kind of ride this down? I feel like I don't. That's the thing. This is a tough spot. If he U-turns, it does 28. So U-turn's not going to kill me. And I do outspeed the Clef. I do outspeed the Slow King. I do outspeed the Hydrapple. Shit. Earthquake. I actually can go my hands. Funny enough. This is a tough spot. Do I let this die? I don't switch into anything that well if I do that. Yeah, I'm gonna let this die. Alright, so that was fine. I think I want to go Darkrai now. I could go Ogerpon and just SD. I could do that, which feels quite tempting. But I don't know if he's gonna be Scarf Ace or something. So I think I'd rather burn the Darkrai. And I'm gonna CM first. Hopefully he'll go Clef, and my policy will pop. He'll fall for all the tricks. And then if he's not Scarf on anything, then it's like super over. But he might be. I think if he is Scarf on something, it's likely to be Cinderace. Because like Keldeo, Scarf Keldeo will get walled by Prim, especially because he's fighting, but it also won't outspeed Ogerpon. So I think if he's Scarf, it's going to be on Cinderace. But he might not be Scarf on anything. feel like I'm in a decent spot here. Let's see what he clicks. Is it U-turn? Yes. Alright, policy is popped. So if he has a scarf, he's going into it. If he has a scarf, he's going into it. And the only thing this is going to be is Cinderace. So if he doesn't go Cinderace, then I know he's not Scarf, is basically the idea. So now versus Hydrapple, we're looking at... Yeah, that's kind of tough, but his ooh, Hydrapple doesn't kill me with anything. Except for, it probably kills me with Draco. Helio. I don't believe for a second that you're Scarf. I don't believe it. I straight up do not believe it. I'm gonna go for Sludge Bomb. You're not Scarf. Ooh, Vacuum Wave. Shit! Okay. So now I could theoretically go Ogerpon. Does Ogerpon get 2 KO'd? Honestly, I don't think I do this God Vacuum Wave. Oh shit. Why did this get Vacuum Wave? Okay, I didn't know it got Vacuum Wave. Okay, let's see. Vacuum Wave. Vacuum Wave doesn't 2 KO if he is Specs. Never look. Bro, they're talking so much shit on me right now. I still can definitely win this. Okay. I don't think I even need to like go too crazy on. I kind of want to flip and then go. If I flip, go Ogerpon. Maybe I could go hands. I could go hands and pick up some kills. Yeah, I'm gonna go hands, try and pick up some kills, and then think about I'm gonna heavy slam this. Goes for flip. Okay, so this thing is not even Specs either. So we'll see if he goes Clef. We'll see what he decides to go into. If he goes Clef, that would be nice. Yeah, the issue is like I wanted to go Ogerpon, and I'm actually glad that I didn't. But like Ogerpon is the last win con kind of standing at this point. So this heavy slam's going to kill. What's he gonna go into next? The Hydrapple is not going to be tearing. We're gonna be keeping the the Terra Keldeo, which means Primarina's in pretty damn good shape. I actually think I'm still in quite good shape now that I think about it. This Clef is a thing. Clef, Moonblast. Yeah, Moonblast will 2 KO. That's a little annoying. It won't 2 KO. Does not 2 KO Ogerpon, so there is that. But I do have to respect the idea that he could be Heavy Slam, or not Heavy Slam, but he could be T-Wave. So part of me, even though I have an attack drop, part of me feels inclined to just Heavy Slam through Clef. Because, well, the thing is, like, two isn't gonna do it. That's the main problem. So part of me wants to go, like, Prim on a Moonblast, then flip turn. What I might do. So here's Keldeo. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go Primarina. We'll see what he clicks. He goes for Secret Sword. Jesus Christ. 47. Now the thing is, that hits my physical defense on hands. So the next time you do that, you're fucking dying, bro. So that's a little questionable. I guess when it's all said and done, it's even better that I went boots over. Oh, I got that crit. How annoying. It's even better that I went boots. So I'm gonna go back to Iron Hands and just kill this. Even if he is shook that he will die, it looks like. But I don't think he is. I think he's Policy. He could be, oh, Policy or Colbur. Colbur, of course, is still in play for the reasons that I have said earlier. But now that we're here, oh, hard ace, this is dead. Oh, okay, I guess not. Well, I'm gonna go Drago. If he U-turns, then he's dead. Super Fang. Alright, that's fine. So now I kind of want to go for light screen with this. Thing is, he's gonna feel hesitant to go hard clef on that. Okay, what's he gonna do? So I have to sack something here. That's just how it is. But with Ogerpon, like, I can sack Prim, go Ogerpon, and just, yeah, I probably can sack Prim, go Ogerpon, Cudgel. If he goes Hydrapple, SD, and then Play Rough, and because Hydrapple never kills, so I think I would just win at that point. So I think I'm gonna do that because Primarina isn't gonna check anything anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Go Ogerpon, Ivy Cudgel, and here's the Hydrapple. All right, is this? Here's what's annoying. He's not Boots. If he specs, if he specs, this will just kill me. But I don't think he is specs. But I could go hands. Actually, if I go hands, that's... I'm just gonna SD. If he kills me, he kills me. I feel bad about this play, but I think it's might be what I have to do. Because I instead I would either like sack hands, light screen, then do the same thing, or yeah, this is a bad spot for me. Yeah, I have to go for it. I'm just gonna SD. Goes for Fickle Beam. Okay, Play Rough. Now the only thing is that Vacuum Wave. I'm in range of Vacuum Wave now. So there is that. So I would go. Goes Vacuum Wave. I'm gonna go Drago. He's gonna kill. I'll go Light Screen. So part of me wants to CC. Very curious what this means. Yeah, I should lose unless he makes a mistake. I should lose here. Okay. Vacuum Wave. If I sack Ogerpon and then he... If I sack Ogerpon and he doesn't kill me, and then I heavy slam the Clef, that's like the only way. And then like I get a crit or something. Yeah, that's the only way. I gotta sack this. Yeah, the Secret Sword kills anyway. Alright, GG. Ugh, frustrating. Obviously this was... It's really that Keldeo, man, because... Because when I think about it, like, I don't know that I've played anything wrong. Obviously not knowing that, it's got Vacuum Wave obviously hurt, but, at that point, the Darkrai set just isn't good, and I shouldn't have been this Darkrai. I don't think... It doesn't meaningfully change how this game went. But... Yeah, if I had known that, then I would have just been like Chople or something. And maybe that means I win. I don't know. That's probably the main takeaway. But in terms of plays, the main thing is that this fighting Keldeo, there's so many different sets Keldeo could be, because I was originally AV to cover Poison, Electric, or Grass, and then like Specs would then I'd be able to eat from Specs or non-Specs even. But then I was getting eaten by T-Spike, so I took that off. And then I would run an attack that could hit those other ones, but then he was fighting, when then hit Secret Sword, which hit my Premier on the physical side, and then I only was able to take one from there. So there's that. I did end up benching. Well, yeah, the benches don't help. These are still the 6. Yeah, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, this is just like a good Keldeo bring that I kind of just have to accept. But the Dark I probably would have done a different set, and then maybe, yeah, I don't even know if that means, I don't know if I would have won though necessarily. I mean, it certainly would have been better than what I had, obviously. Yeah, that's probably the main takeaway, is I should have been Chople Darkrai, and then I would have just like clicked buttons and attacked into the Fable, the G-King, and whatnot. I don't think I played bad. I think that was a prep mistake on my end. I think all the plays were correct. So yeah, that's our first loss. GG, and we got, actually, yeah, I gotta prep for my next game pretty quick. So yeah, I'll see you soon. So I actually just realized something really frustrating. I didn't react to it at the time because I feel like I didn't react to it at the time because I underrated like the significance of it. But obviously, if Fickle Beam doesn't double in power, it's very weak. So I SD here, and I SD here knowing that I know I'm gonna live one. But if that was the double hit, if half of that would have been 38, so I would have been at like 61. Yeah, like 61. So if I was at, if that did half of 77 is 38 and a half, so 100 minus 8.5, I would have been at 62. Yeah, so I would have been at like 62%, and then this +2 play rough like always kills this. Even if he switched out and then came back in, even from 100%, like the min roll is like 96 or something like that, and that just depends on his spread. That assumes that he has a certain amount of bulk net. Maybe he doesn't, but yeah. So I would have. So even after, if it was a non-double Fickle Beam, which is only 30% chance, I would have been at 62%. I kill him with Play Rough, and then that puts me at like 48. I would have been out of range of Vacuum Wave. So yeah, I actually realized I just won. I literally won in this position because I would have killed with Play Rough, killed with Cudgel. Yeah, like easily killed with Cudgel. Stomping Tantrum would have killed this, and then I would have lived Vacuum Wave and Cudgeled here. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, because the issue is like he only even gets a helmet contact on times that I don't Cudgel, because Cudgel is non-contact. But Slowking actually would have been so low that like +2 Cudgel might have even killed. I might not even had Stomping Tantrum, so I'd probably like never even have to risk, him shuffling around with helmet or whatever. So yeah, pretty frustrating. I actually won in this position, if not for the double power on this one. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control, and you have to take accountability for that. Because like there's no use. Like yeah, I look at this and say yeah, I definitely should have won, but independent of that, if I didn't have a Darkrai that just never could have worked in light of Vacuum Wave Keldeo. You know, the thing is, like, you think after seeing like Keldeo so much, it's been years of Gen 9. I like never seen Vacuum Wave. So like on one hand, I mean, of course I should have known, but also I like, it's like if Torn T had close combat, like, and then you just magically found out one day that it had close combat and you never knew. As I think about it more, Keldeo being a relevant Terramon in the meta is very new. And before that, it was kind of like just like a side piece that no one thought about much. So now that I think about it, like Keldeo itself has been around, but Keldeo as a meta relevant threat is very new. And I think that's a huge lesson to take away too, is like not to assume that because I don't want to say assume. The issue here is like I in the future I should recognize that just because I see a Pokemon a lot, I'm only going to give it a closer look when it becomes relevant or when it takes new unique forms in the meta. So that's definitely something to look out for. I don't know how many Pokemon in the future this applies to, but yeah, if I were to like try and analyze like why I didn't know, that's really the reason, is that on some level you assume you know what Keldeo gets, but I haven't given it a close look at like at a potential new Gen 9 learn set because no one was using it this way until like a month ago. So in a sense it's kind of like a new Mon, but like you just don't realize it, I guess. So yeah, should have won this game, but more importantly, in terms of like what actually matters for, you know, improving or taking accountability or not making mistakes in the future, got to know the moves that everything learns. And if you make a mistake, you have to interrogate why. Because like yeah, if I had looked closer at the learn set, knew it had Vacuum Wave, a Calm Mind weakness policy set versus Clef literally never works. Let's say it works exactly how I want it to. Darkrai's out, I Calm Mind as he goes Clef, I taunt to prevent T-Wave, he hits me with Moonblast, I'm literally +3, and then yeah, I get my kill, then he goes Keldeo, Vacuum Waves. Literally the set never works how I intended it to with Vacuum Wave. So yeah, unfortunate loss for, you know, the Fickle Beam boost and the bad Darkrai set, but ultimately we're just gonna have to clean it up, and we're gonna have to, you know, do better next time. And yeah, I mean, we're still in a good position in terms of playoffs, but yeah, I just want to make this video because it was something I realized after, but like after I had finished recording, but I wanted to make sure that that it was discussed. So yeah,